1 million cups. How many of you are here for the first time? Nice. Well, welcome. I think you guys will enjoy it. For the rest of you, you kind of know the drill. We have two startups that are up here presenting what they're building in our community. Then you have time to ask them questions, make suggestions, perhaps offer your connections, your mental Rolodexes. Anything that we as a community can do to ensure that these companies grow here, become huge, employ vast numbers of people, bring trillions of dollars of wealth into our community, and ultimately make it so I don't have to work anymore. So anything we as a community can do for that, I would be very appreciative of. I am also very appreciative of the team of 1 Million Cups organizers, including Marianne Bowers, Chris Bennett, JJ Roberts, hiding behind this stanchion here, and the 17 others that are not here with us today. I'm also appreciative of Carly, who writes the wonderful emails you get every week, one telling you who will be up here presenting, one telling you who had presented in the past, how you can help them, and how you can sign up for the events we talk about. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, you're not getting that email, there is a sign-in sheet back there between those two folks. We promise not to send you too many emails, just those 2 a week to keep you informed. Other than that, I would also like to thank Cal Coffee, maybe less than normal this morning because, you know, it was so late. I asked for a refund. They reminded me they don't charge us anything. But I would like to kick it off with Alex Miller again. It's our first presenter, who is the first person of these two I looked at.
Hello, one and all. I'm Alex Miller. So first off, I was driving to Tampa and I saw gold bolts everywhere. So hats off to a great season. It was a tough loss. So, I'm from Connecticut, so I'm a Rangers fan. So please don't throw anything. If you do, if I die, you're like Lundquist and just let the puck go in. But anyway, so let me start with my company. So I'm Alex Miller. My company is Alex Miller Organics. And before I get started, my Twitter handle is at the bottom of each slide, AM_organics. So feel free to tweet in throughout the presentation if you like or don't like. And yeah. So how I started. So this picture right here says a lot. This picture, that's where Ammo was born, actually. So that's me, Halloween 2014. I was in downtown Orlando at Club Tier, dancing, drinking, talking, running around, sweating, having a good time. And I go into the bathroom about 1 in the morning, and I kind of just look in the mirror, I just look at myself, I see a mess. I'm like, come on. I'm like, give myself a pep talk. I'm like, get yourself together, freshen up, you got 1 more hour, come on. So I wash my hands, wash my face, put water in my hair, trying to like freshen up. It didn't dawn on me. I was like, man, all I got is hair product in my pocket. And so there's nothing out there like that. So a couple months went by, it stuck with me. I was like, you know, I'm hacked on it. So I carved my first prototype in my dorm room. And that was just going to be bark, and we had bites here at night, this whole thing. It's evolved since then. But I also started making my own hair product in my kitchen. And I would go on Google and YouTube and just look up recipes, and I had a double boiler, and I was, you know, going to farmer's market, getting beeswax, shea butter, and I was doing some research on like how to make hair product, but it wasn't exactly a professional grade. But anyway, so I started making it, I started testing it on my teammates. I played baseball at Rollins College, and so the guys were loving it, they were having fun with it, and they were my test dummies. So I go in the locker room, hey, I got this new product, boom, they throw it in. So this is a freshman going to a formal. This is what a vision I see for Ammo, is just like adding value to guys' appearance. It just takes 2 seconds to put some hair product in, but it adds so much value, so much confidence to, you know, guys going out and just having an overall demeanor to them. So that's one of the visions I see with the company. Also in athletics, so athletes are performers, just like a Broadway actor, just like an actor, and they want to look good. They're performers, they're on a stage, people are going to watch them play, so they want to look good. So now in a real game you have to wear a hat, unfortunately, but for this modeling purpose, that's a senior picture with some ammo in his hair. And next, these are 2 of my teammates as well, it's in the clubhouse. So I see guys before games looking in the mirror, and they're checking the tape to make sure their socks match their belt, and their eye black's perfect, and their hat is straight, and all these weird like personal grooming techniques that will often feel they have terrible style. They can't dress, they don't shower, their hair's all messed up. So there's something weird about like before a game, they want to look perfect, they want to look pristine when they're on the field. And it goes with this mantra that I've heard every single locker room since I've been playing sports. It's look good, feel good, and play good. And so those are the 3 guiding principles for Alex and Organics. So this is the look good section. And this is on the field, just in case you're rounding second base and your helmet accidentally falls off and someone takes a picture, you can hopefully get a date to the formal the freshman got. So that's on the field. And these are just examples of pro guys with awesome hair. You can't tell me that he's not thinking about his hair. Like, they have a clear, conscious effort to look good on the field for whatever reason, mental edge, whatever it is. So those are just examples of some pro guys. And next, the feel-good phase. So organic is the new standard. I think people are more knowledgeable what they put on the body. So with hair product, whatever goes on your body goes throughout your body. So you want to keep it natural, clean, because it goes through the pores, it goes throughout your body. I'm not a doctor, but that's just kind of common sense. The modern consumer is more aware of what to put on the body. So that's why I wanted to make my hair product all organic. And beyond the product, the packaging we use is wooden. So when I was doing research on packaging for the cosmetic and hair industry, it's all plastic tubes, pumps, plastic. It's all plastic. So I was like, I want to do something with wood. So I'm working with a local wood shop in Winter Park, Florida, and they make my reusable wooden box. And so it's reusable because you can refill with tins. But what's in the tins is the hair product that's again reformulated right now professionally by Zafira, which is an American-based company who has a manufacturing plant in Israel. And they use minerals from the Dead Sea. So it's very clean, very, they say, nourishes the scalp, activates circulation, and enhances relaxation. So they're going to do it professionally. It's no longer going to be in my kitchen on YouTube with beeswax from the farmer's market. It's going to be a nice, professional-grade manufacturing plant. So, like I was saying, for the tins that go into the wooden box, it's a reload model. So you buy the wooden box for a one-time fee, and then you have a tin inside of it. And so after you run through the tin, you just simply reload your ammo into the wooden box. And so this is saving money. So people feel good about saving money. So I can say I put salon quality hair product in nasty, stinky locker rooms. So this is a salon quality product, $22 for a plastic container. And you have to keep on buying it. So that's my optimal price point I would get it to, where you would save $87 if you go through product every 2 months. That's 6 purchases in a year, and so you'd be saving $87. Because you don't have to keep on buying the package, you just buy the reload, you just buy the product, put it into the package. So that's how you save money. And finally, the last one is play good. So just like how organic is a new standard for consumer goods, I believe that social impact is a new standard for businesses across the board. So that's how I want to structure my company, is to cover the triple bottom line rather than just bottom line. And the triple bottom line is people, planet, and profit. You solve a problem, you make it sustainable, and you make a profit, stay in business. So in about 48 hours, I'm getting on a plane in Miami, I'm flying to Panama, then I'm flying to the Dominican Republic, and I'm volunteering for a week through the Outreach 360 program. And so what this is a baseball camp for kids, and I have 2 big duffel bags of baseball equipment that my baseball team has donated. And I also raise money through the first sales of product. So I'm going to go down there and give them all this baseball equipment to these kids. And he was going for the top. Kid, keep on going. But so yeah, kids like this. I just typed in Dominican baseball player on Google Images, and this came up. And I love this picture. It's not the best quality, but when I look at this picture, you see a kid who's got no shoes, pants are too short, doesn't even have a shirt on his back, doesn't have shoes. I don't know what that is. That's not a baseball player. The bat's too big for him. The ball looks like a grapefruit. And in the background, I mean, you have shambles. You know, his village is falling apart. Even the clouds in the background are dark and gloomy. But then you look at his face, and you see his pure grit and determination, and his focus on hitting that ball. And in that moment, all he's thinking about is hitting that ball as hard as he can, which I think is such a beautiful thing about sports, that you get lost in the moment of sports, right? And it helps you grow personally, it helps you mature, it helps you develop. It's a teacher, it's a learner, it's, you get social skills. Baseball, sports in general, has been so influential in my life that I don't know how I'm going to do it exactly with the company, but I just know I want to go and help kids with sporting equipment, help them get involved in sports, and I want to help poverty-stricken communities around the world, just live a life with more ease. I think that's all I'm going to do. So in closing, remember that camo has your back and has your hair, not your hairy back. Not yet, at least. It will come off the razor. But so this is all our social media. Connect with us. I'm going to leave this slide up while I field any questions that you guys might have. So thank you so much. Let's do it.
Great presentation. So number one, thank you for coming. Just from a standpoint social, one thing that my wife and I have been thinking for start your own business, or saying once our business is start up and going, where we can give a certain percentage of our pre-tax profits to charity. So I don't know if you thought of it that way. I think if you actually tell people you can do that, there's more reason for them to actually do business with you. But at the same time, they're keeping you accountable. You say, give 10% of my pre-tax profits to X, and that's a pretty easy way. So that's a suggestion that we just think that way. But also from the standpoint of manufacturing, have you gone to that level yet? Are you looking for folks to possibly manufacture your product at scale?
Yeah, so right now, in the past 2 weeks, I worked with Safira, the company in Israel who gets the Dead Sea. They get their minerals from the Dead Sea. And so they're going to make my actual hair product, the pomade and the clay, yeah.
Okay.
And so then the wood packaging, I'm working with a small local wood shop, which is pretty pricey, but I like that it keeps it local. So I'm in Israel, I'm also in Winter Park, kind of like connecting thing. That's my overall vision, is to connect the world with this company.
And just a quick follow-up. One thing, I was just listening to this presentation, and my wife and I go through Costco, and you go through Whole Foods. Well, it just seems like Costco, they like the local product.
Yeah.
And you get in there, you sell it, and it's there. And Whole Foods is a store all by itself, but if you get in those two stores, it just seems like two great places. Costco's high-end. It's not BJ's, no disrespect to BJ's, which is more low-end. But Costco is a higher-end consumer that they product.
Have you gotten any patents on reformulation or your rights that no one else
Yeah,
does it?
so that's
Have you got any trademarks on your logo and your design and your
yeah. So I'm on a college
box
budget.
design and all that?
Yeah, so I have very limited legal coverage right now, and that's the next phase. It's to kind of tighten up the loose ends. So no, I don't have any of that. You want to cover it at the time. So in the back.
On your presentation, I really appreciated it. I especially like how the emotional aspect, your enthusiasm comes through. So great job with that. Your problem statement originally started with being out and why can't I have something in my pocket? I'm looking at your packaging. I'm wondering how do I take that with me in my back pocket, or what's the
Yeah, and so we kind of pivoted from the pocket grooming. I mean, I'm still in the process of trying to get the packaging down for that. It was trying to get plastic molds are very expensive, so I couldn't even make it plastic, so I had to make it wood. And then wood was tough because in your pocket it melts the product when it's in your pocket. And so then I now have a little tin, like a lip balm tin that we have a hair product in. But for the first push of product, we're just going to do the at-home tint, and then we're going to have like little. It's kind of like the size of a nickel, and it screws like a lip balm, and it's going to be hair product to keep in your pocket. So we're going to do at home and on the go, but we're starting at home.
Because the one that comes to mind, of course, is Dapper Dan floating up through the water, and also the size of just a can of chewing tobacco or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah.
But everybody knows the Dapper Dan image. There you go.
Thanks. Do you have a question? Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, do you have any disclosures on your packaging about what's in your product, or I mean, I just noticed on products I use it always has ingredients and disclosures. Is that something you have to worry about?
Yeah. So when I was making my apartment, yes, people should probably be worried about that. But now that it's done professionally, they haven't sent me the ingredient label yet because they're still working on formulating it. So once I do get that, I'm going to put it on the bottom of the tins for what's in it, how to use it, when to use it, when's best use, for what type of hair to use for it. So we're going to have a pomade, which is like a high shine, high hold, and then a clay, which is like a matte finish and kind of soft. Yeah, there it is.
How do you plan on creating awareness for your product, and what's your marketing plan?
Yeah, so where I kind of see in my head this going is if I can just get an athlete, professional athlete, to kind of have a picture of it in his locker, and so then after a game, right, he just had a tough game, whatever, and then on the way from his locker room to the media room, kind of endorses it, puts the hair product in his hair, and boom, goes in, does the interview, crushes the interview. So that's kind of, I want to do endorsements to big athletes to try to get, because then I get college teams to be using it, college teams and high school teams. So I'm kind of start with the athletes because I feel like it's a market that is not really flooded with hair products. So I feel like it'd be easier to slide into there. So that's what I'm saying. This one.
There's a couple of organizations that are already tied in with athletes that are athletes that basically use their earnings from winning the Olympic Games, and then they go into the countries they came from, like play products, soccer balls, primarily a lot of them. But baseball has the archive it's reviving baseball in inner cities.
Yeah.
But they do it in developing countries too. They work with some of the athletes from other countries that probably from the Dominican Republic or some of those. So some of those guys like that.
Yeah.
Carlos is the one fabulous looking guy. And someone else who takes a lot of pride in his work is Daniel Escobar,
Okay.
the Nationals,
Yeah.
and takes a lot of pride in his work. But some of those guys might be good to tie in and then reinvest in their own country. You know, rather than kind of the whole world, you know.
Yeah.
But the DR, Cuba, some of those.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Another idea I had for that was every box buys a ball. So kind of going along that is every time you buy a box, you'll buy like a soccer ball, baseball, basketball. And so my brother right now is in Afghanistan. He's on his third tour over there. And so my idea is to ship 1,000 soccer balls to him. And then so him and his soldier buddies go into the communities and they give away the soccer balls to the kids in the community. So then it's kind of like, because grown-ups are going to hate grown-ups, we're going to have conflicts with grown-ups. That's just kind of your mindset. But if you can if they see a soldier giving a child a soccer ball, now it kind of eases the tension, kind of changes their mindset. All right, these guys are here to help us. We're not going to, we're not going to grow up and have angst against the soldiers. They're kind of here to provide for us. So that's kind of another idea I had with the soldier aspect of it. Every box buys a ball in war-stricken areas.
So the box is separate purchase, right? You buy the box, you have one of the tins in it.
Exactly.
You refill it with tins.
Okay.
Think of it as like a subscription, kind of like Dollar Shave Club.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
Why would I buy the box if I just have to go buy it?
And that's what I need help with, is trying to track people who have the boxes. So maybe you have like a barcode or like a code at the bottom of the box. And so now you buy the box one time, then you go on the website, you punch in your code, and now you're into the club with the ammo army, actually what I call it, ammo army. And so now you have deals, you have discounts, and you just maybe 2 month subscription where like, you get every 2 months you get a fresh tin shipped to you for $5 or whatever it is. So yeah, Dollar Shave Club stuff. Model one.
You're outsourcing to Israel. What are your minimums and your unit costs?
Yeah, so the first push of products is going to be 1,000 units for $3 piece. Is what it's costing me.
Is
So
that a standard minimum in this?
that's actually, I mean, they give you a pretty good deal only because most minimums are 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, especially if it's such a small company. So I met them. It's a family company. They're kind of starting new as well. It's actually an American-based company with a manufacturing plant in Israel. So yes, they do a great job.
Two people that may want to be on your team if they're not already just kind of came to mind. There's a lot of like of-the-month clubs out there that have great subscription models. We got a soccer-the-month club, which I don't know why would I do soccer, right? But there are people, just one arrow. No, but there are a couple dozen companies like that that are at varying levels of success that are already a year or two in the future, maybe where you are now, who would probably be more than happy to share their advice with what problems you're going to have. Like I would get somebody from one of those other companies right now to save you time learning those lessons the hard way, and just reach out to them and talk to them. And the other question was, is do anybody on your team that comes from the salon and hair product side, where I'm just thinking, you got people trying to push products into local salons everywhere. People locally sourced with experience who may even work for a couple dollars per tin initially instead of having to pay them a lot of money, and they already know the challenges there, and it might be easier to test it out in that market as opposed to, of course, Costco and Whole Foods would be the gold standard, but something with salons or now in this business.
Yeah, so that's a great session. I'm working with one salon owner on Park Avenue Park, and so as for the team. You're kind of looking at the team right now. I don't really have a co-founder. The guys in the team help me out. My baseball team help me out a lot. But yeah, I'm working with a salon owner. He's been helping me a lot with product development and all that. But it's a great suggestion. This is very competitive.
Yeah, build that team now. Get those advisors in place right now.
Yeah.
We'll save it up.
Thank you. Question Matt?
Building on a question asked earlier about selling this in your marketing strategy, say you get your first 1,000 units in, I imagine you know, on your budget, you're not gonna be able to get an athlete endorsement, try to help with that. So do you have a plan as far as selling those immediately? I know you have your own baseball team, things like that, but what kind of strategy or what are you thinking there?
Honestly, the strategy right now is I got a buddy back home who is a barber, and so I'm gonna send him some product and try to have him start his barber shop. And then I go to Floyd's, I go to Kennedy's, I just show up, I say, hey, here's your product, you want a sample, they sample, and then I try to get sales, just kind of like door to door, old school, kind of, you know, Girl Scout cookies, we don't buy these. So yeah, that's my plan at least. With that.
To go off what he said, I know that a lot of universities, like I went to UCF in Orlando, they have their Market Wednesdays where businesses can come and set up a booth. If you could work out something with that, I know budget is definitely a concern. But there's universities all over little college campuses where you can set up a booth and sell that stuff, and college students would definitely buy your product. So that's something to look at.
Cool. Thank you.
I was just wondering if you know, or I guess what is the background for Sierra? How familiar are they with organic products?
Yeah, so like I said before, they get their minerals from the Dead Sea. And it's actually the first hair care company to use the minerals from the Dead Sea in their hair products. So, like I said, working for 2 weeks, so I would have to get more product info on them, which is a great idea.
Organics are very highly regulated.
Yeah, so I gotta get certified, that's a whole
Yeah.
process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the next thing I gotta tackle. Yeah.
My wife had a question, but just one comment. In Orlando,
Yeah.
there's a big sports guy named Chris Visser. You know that name?
I know.
His sister's Leslie Visser, the only woman that's ever been inducted in the NFL Football Hall of Fame. Chris is a big sports producer. He has a Rolodex from Muhammad Ali to the LA president. But yeah, I could actually give you his information afterwards. So, you know, he has a big partner when it comes to charity.
Yeah.
So if you're doing, giving some money to people, then do that. And then I think my wife has a question.
Sure.
So I wanted to know if you had any thought about a patent attorney and also do licensing agreements. Have you thought about doing a black box with some of the major companies and licensing the product that you have to the company for royalties? And basically put it under their brand, that it would be your product and you get royalties off their sales.
Yeah, so as long as I can have control of the structure of the company, so I don't want to give away, because this company, like I said, covers the triple bottom line rather than just the bottom line of sales. I want to make sure that it's, eventually I want to make it a B Corp, which is a benefit corporation, much like Ben & Jerry's or Badger Bone. So I want to have it go to, as long as that company is socially minded and globally connected, then yeah, I have no problem. It would have to be the right company to partner with.
Right.
So yeah.
And just to follow up that, are you looking for early stage investors?
Yeah, money is money, and so the new thing is impact investing. So I'm looking for impact investment angels who want to put money, and they're not expecting a return investment in 6 months, a year, 12 months, but someone who's looking for social impact measurements. Thank you.
Just to compound on what she was talking about, another thing you may want to look at is the Saturday morning market down here in St. Pete. You can get into that.
Yeah, I was in one farmer's market, and it was brutal, man. Those are pretty competitive, but yeah, farmer's market, I have a tent, and I need, if anyone knows a good person to make signs, and attractive signs for the farmer's tents, that's something that I definitely need. But yeah, farmer's markets are huge. So,
A couple of resources, I believe you mentioned that. There are two companies you may want to look out for. One is Stash and Stubble, and next is Beard Products. Beard soap is something that both are started the last couple of years. Founders with great success in the last 2 years. One of them has been Canva, who's the next Marine, Stubble and Stash, who's based here locally. And they're the same product company, kind of saw the same niche, but they've done some great things.
Stubble and Stash.
Stubble and Stash and Beard Products.
And then to help facilitate the subscription, you know, consider having somebody develop an app for you, because then you take their phone and scan the barcode, then easily put in their information so that they can sign up for your subscription.
yeah, that's a great idea. It's kind of like a Q, we call those QR codes, and they
Yes.
kind of scan. Yeah. Sir?
So first question is, what's your major?
Social entrepreneurship. Yeah, it's the only major in the country actually at Rollins, so it's awesome.
It's awesome. I just spent a few minutes on your website. Great job.
Squarespace.
But I looked at every page. I looked at the about, the shop, the difference, anal army, and there's only 2 places that it says that it's hair care, that it's a hair gel. It just says organic products and men's grooming on the homepage.
Yeah.
So if you want some feedback about this really, really nice website, tell somebody that it's hair care on the front page, because it almost doesn't say it anywhere else. And I dig for 5 minutes before I saw it. But it's beautiful and it looks great, and all of your branding and all of your marketing is aces. Nice job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, question back.
If, I hope you're collaborating, I need the group's help for a minute. There's a local company, Danny, I can't think, the 3 brothers that started. Yeah, Narva. You know them?
I met with Kyle a couple times.
Kyle, I would say, but you are in communication with them, because I don't think you're in competition, because I don't think they do hair.
They don't, no.
So, all right, I just want to make sure you've got that connection, because they're very helpful.
They're awesome, yeah.
All right, good.
This is where being a nerd and engineer kind of clashes with marketing. Organics chemicals are not minerals. Minerals are not organic chemicals. So if you say something organic and mineral, it's like saying sugar-free.
Yeah. There's still aspartame in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I don't think, except people like me who are not customers.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Sir.
Last one.
Yeah.
So, I really like the fact that you can hyper-target with your marketing. I think that's something that most people that get out here fail to recognize, is that they get out and they say, I want to be everything to everyone. You can't grow a business doing that, and they're going to find that out the hard way. You've already figured out that you have a very specific slice of the market that you're going after. You want to go after male athletes from high school to the professional level. Don't let anybody sway you from that. Don't go and get into farmers markets and try to sell to the mom with 2 young kids down the street. That's not your market. That's saturated, like you said. There's a lot of organic hair care product out there. Nobody's really going after pro athletes. Stay the course. Don't let anybody sway you. I think that, if you can nail that down, you're going to grow this into a very successful market.
Thank you.
Everybody's going after that. It's just, I don't know where to say that, but everybody, 100% of
Yeah, and I'm not sure how that process works.
Well, they usually
just knowing people are agents.
Well, it depends on what your angle is.
Yeah.
How do you know it is?
So I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but how as we as the safety community, how can we help you grow ultimately more organic?
Yeah, so I go to the Orlando Women Lake Cup, so I think about this question a lot. And I mean, you guys have helped me a lot through the questions with the QR codes and the marketing. But just taking my business card after, just connecting, and if you have any ideas, or I love immediate feedback. It's a flow trigger. So any criticism or anything that I can take from you guys would be awesome. And advice is the most valuable thing, and time is actually the most valuable thing. But advice that you give me goes so much farther than just buying a product or just telling everybody about it, but just giving like good structured advice. It's something that I'm very appreciative of. So thank you all for listening today. And thank you for your comments. And thank you, Murray. That's you? Yes, you are. I had the face and the so thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you again all for coming out tonight, or today, excuse me. I'm really excited. I don't know if you guys know, we have a group of young entrepreneurs in the audience over here taking notes, very engaged. So if you have kids, you want to bring them here, you can always check with us first to make sure it's age appropriate. But other than that, we welcome everyone here. So thank you for bringing them here. And she is a past presenter of this too, so thanks for coming back. But again, over here, as I do every week, there are all the fun events coming up focused around startups in the community. And as Sean mentioned, if you're on our email list, you'll get direct links to all of these, or you can ask us questions if you need any more details. We have Startup Exchange, which is put on by the Innovation Center. It's basically like a speed dating for professional entrepreneurs. So they have experts on all different types of topics, from patent attorneys to marketing to sales to budgeting to forecasting, whole 9 yards. Mr. JJ over there will love to tell you any information if you have any questions. Geekin, something that happens every other week. It starts in Tampa on Thursdays with a Geek Breakfast at Jimbo's Barbecue, followed by Pitch Night at the Tampa Bay Wave. So smaller scale of this type of event as well. So if you want to get some more feedback, it's a free, fun event to go to. Then followed by a beach weekend. And then you also have Tech Talk. And then also the Wave again that does a tech community night. I believe it's only $20 for the tickets there. You can go to tampabaywave.org to find out more details. And they run out of about 40 to 50 seats in the stadium. So it's a fun group of people to get involved with. But again, all these will be on our email list at the end of the day. So up next, we have Brandon with Talon Simulations, also over here from our Orlando community. So as a little heads up, one of the benefits, I know it's been mentioned before, is if you do present here, you have the option to go and present at any of the other 70 plus locations of 1 Million Cups. So if you have any questions on that, I can answer that too. But please give a warm round of applause for Brandon.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Brandon Danes. I'm the president and co-founder of Talon Simulations. We focus on virtual reality simulations for different applications. What we see, the big problem in the simulation industry currently is the big, bulky products on the market. They're just very expensive to operate, expensive to purchase. The technology is becoming obsolete, and they're just only used for one application. There's too many problems with them. So what we're going to do is take advantage of the strong potential in the virtual reality and augmented reality to help offset some of the costs and integrate this new technology into simulations. We're going to take these new head-mounted displays like the Oculus Rift, which is what we're working with right now, off-the-shelf controls. We were going to originally design and manufacture these motion bases, but we're currently in the works of being a reseller for a company in the UK. I'll run it off of a computer and plug it into one wall outlet. And this gives us what you'll see here, the beta prototype of our simulation. It's 2 degrees of freedom. You have 360 degrees of head tracking. It's 3D, it's HD, and you're really immersed in this environment. The motion actually helps combat a lot of the nausea associated with virtual reality. In a static game chair, you get mixed signals with the brain where it looks like you're moving, but you don't feel it. So that's what onsets the nausea. So the subtle motion cueing will be proven to reduce nausea only to 3% of users. This solution is also it's inexpensive, it's portable. You can take out the controls, switch it from an airplane to a race car within 10 minutes. You can bring it around. Like I said, it's off one wall outlet, and they're designed to make and take a beating. So that makes it adaptable to different customer segments. The smallest would be training applications for private pilots or race car drivers, even young drivers, elderly drivers. Range of applications in that it's a $2 billion industry, as well as entertainment centers and arcades. There's in Orlando, it's a hub of the amusement industry. So we have Disney, Universal, Dave & Buster's, Fun Spot, a lot of good targets, a lot of good partners that we've already been working with. And then the high-end gaming enthusiasts, defined as a gamer that would spend more than $1,500 on PC gaming equipment. They can buy our systems, plug and play with USB, and run it off of any PC software that they have. Our revenue model will offer direct sales through our website, through trade shows, with options of having an add-on. So you can either just get the motion base, or you can get the motion base in the chair. You get a motion base with mounts for a racing steering wheel or throttle, a yoke for a plane, and as well as a whole package with the PC, with visuals. We'll also, even though we're focusing on virtual reality, we'll offer LCD displays or projectors as well. And we'll offer rentals if people want to use them by the hour, by the day, by a week for events, parties. And then virtual reality consulting services or just general simulator services to help manufacture one for your house or for companies as well. We're a team of 4. We actually stem from UCF Mechanical Engineering Senior Design Project, where we came up with an idea to make a virtual reality flight simulator. And we built it with $1,000 using windshield wiper motors from a Ford 1 F-150 in the junkyard. But it was a good proof of concept, and that's what led us to pursue the business venture. We have a mentor that's really prominent in the simulation and training industry. He's a retired brigadier general. He got us a booth at ITSEC, which is the world's largest simulation and training trade show, where we spent the months beforehand manufacturing a more reliable and efficient prototype that we could exhibit there for the 4 days, and it withstood 400 people testing it out, giving us feedback on it. Then we also had the opportunity to exhibit at Tronicon, which is Orlando's largest interactive media show. We had another 400, 500 people try it out, where we're keeping metrics of nausea, the age group, demographic, price point, things like that. So at this point, we got to participate in UCS's first cohort of the I-Corps program, which is a Silicon Valley methodology of lean startup, and it's a 10-week course where you go and do customer interviews to validate your business model. So at this point, we've had over 300 customer interviews in these different segments, with over 800 people in our beta prototype. We took first place in their business model competition, as well as their new venture challenge. Then we've been funding ourselves through these business competitions, through the I-Corps grant, which is sponsored by National Science Foundation, and now we're getting ready to hit the market. And you'll be able to see our final product, which we'll be displaying at these upcoming events. IAPO, which is the world's largest attractions expo. Then Orlando IX, which will be Orlando's big entertainment showcase that we're holding here for the first time. And then we'll be exhibiting at ITSEC again, which is the world's largest simulation and training trade show. Starting in October, November, and December. These are all at the Orange County Convention Center. So if anyone's interested in giving our product a free demo, make sure you come out. Follow us on social media to see what other demonstrations we'll be doing around town, in different areas. That wraps it up. We're Talon Simulations. We're seeking to provide more affordable simulation experiences to businesses. Thank you, everybody. I saw your hand go up.
Yes. So you say that all of the hardware is already available commercially. So are you creating the simulation software, or are you sort of bundling up necessary hardware to create the experience? I'm not sure what exactly it is that you're doing.
Okay, so yeah, the original idea was we're going to be this company, we're going to build software, we're going to build these motion bases, and then all we're going to buy off the shelf is the games and the controls. However, there's a company over in the UK that already has the motion base and the software that will take us $200,000 to $300,000 to develop, and another year. And companies are starting to catch up with us. If we don't hit the market now, we'll be left behind. So we actually contacted this company in the UK, and they have resellers for the product in a few European countries and a few Asian countries, and only have 10 to 15 customers in the US. So we contacted them, giving them the option of being a reseller for them, which would give them more access to the States, someone to service the products once they're in the States and everything. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship, and now we can hit the market. We're not developing anymore, but we'll be experts in this technology and integration. Yes, sir.
So where are you getting the content from?
The contact?
The content.
For
the actual game or the flight simulator itself. Are you guys making that yourselves? Are you buying it from other developers? How are you actually getting
You'll download the game, whatever game you want to use. If it's a training application, we'll be able to have relationships with the software developers of those companies and integrate the right one for each application. Then the software for motion extraction, which will simulate the actual aircraft or the car, that's what the UK company does, and it works with over 100 games currently, and we'll be able to get the API to be able to make it work with any other game. But we're going to bring someone on the team that can develop games as well. So the focus will be virtual reality and augmented reality integration. So that's what we're going to specialize in. So all the new headsets that are going to come out, we're going to integrate with our system. All the new hand trackers and new toys, everything. That's where we're going to be able to stay on the cutting edge with all these new products, make sure that they work with our system, and be able to help our customers pick out the right things.
Like which ones? Are you working with the lead motion sensor?
Yeah, we have Leap Motion and the Oculus. Those are the two big ones that we have right now, and we applied to be a developer for the new Valve headset. We're getting ready for. Trying to stay on top of all those.
Last question, have you played with the Samsung VR yet?
Yeah, so those are different. The thing is that we're trying to find a way to integrate these phone VR headsets, but the thing is we can't do motion with that, and that's kind of what we're going to specialize in. So once we figure out, maybe that'll just kind of be in our consulting package. We can help people integrate that, but there's no way right now we can make those work with our system.
It's too much for the Bluetooth, isn't it?
Yeah, it just can't handle all that data streaming. But.
Thanks. For the flight simulation and stuff like that, I assume the FAA has a certification process for those flight simulators to be useful for teaching. Have you guys looked at that? Are you in that process, or is it already conformed to that certification?
No, it's not yet, but we have validated that it can be certified as a basic aviation training device, so you can use it for up to 3 hours in your private pilot license, essentially. So it won't really be used for commercial pilots, but it'll help combat some of the costs for private pilots, get familiar flying around, because it's way more immersive than any of the computer trainers that are currently on the market, and we're offering this at about the same price as those. Yes, sir.
What about something that's not quite so sexy in the world? A lot of construction companies say they have trouble getting people that are trained to operate some of their equipment. So if I just was a construction company and I've got these cranes and I keep training people and spending all that money and then they keep leaving, is that a mark? Could you say, well, we could build the simulation software so that people could be safely trained to operate your specific equipment, or is that outside of your domain?
No, actually that was really prominent in our first trade show at INSEC last year. We had a lot of people in the construction industry approaching us about it, and although we never actually looked into that, we see that it's definitely an option. You can train on almost any vehicle with this. The options are endless. So the thing is, we're going to focus mostly on the entertainment route first. We saw during our demonstrations that airplane pilots and the race car drivers, the technology isn't quite ready to be that realistic, because the problem with virtual reality is you can't see your hands really quite yet as well as you need them to. So you can be in the environment and you don't see yourself holding the steering wheel or anything. So we know that gamers are a lot more forgiving in that sense. So even though we're going to be at INSEC this year, we want to show our product, but our main target customers initially are arcades and gamers.
One question I wanted to ask before, I'll ask you this time. Licensing agreements, are you thinking about that? And if so, is everything patented to protect yourself before you actually speak to these folks?
Yes, their motion-based isn't patentable. It's just there's too many motion simulators out there on the market. What they're working on is their own actuators now. So they currently buy them from Canada. They're going to get those patented. Their software is proprietary, and they do have that all protected, their trademarks and everything. So that was a problem we saw, because we have talked to a few patent attorneys down the line when we were looking into design and manufacturing, and there wasn't anything quite there. So a lot of people build these in their garages. It's kind of been done before. But we wouldn't be able to license what we do because we're not actually designing anything. But even though our agreement right now is to be strictly reselling of their product, we're going to slowly work over to licensing their design to manufacture in the States, since they do the manufacturing in the UK currently.
So just on a pitch when you go out to investors, if you know your money.
Right.
What's your secret sauce that really differentiates your company from some other folks that are in the same area?
Well, the product is definitely going to be, it's not patentable, but it's one of a kind right now, and as long as we hit the market the quickest, we'll be able to lock people in and make high changing costs But the biggest value that we add is going to be our specialty services that we're offering. So even though gamers can integrate all these new virtual reality things in their headsets, a lot of companies aren't going to be able to. They can buy the stuff, but they won't know exactly how to use it. And we want to be able to offer the services to make sure people can implement them efficiently.
How realistic is the motion? Like, for instance, if I'm simulating a Cessna in Florida, it's going to be bouncing all over the place. But if I'm simulating an F-16, it's like smooth as glass. So you got IG. Is that taken into account in that?
Yeah, so specifically those softwares, they're designed to stream the telemetry data, the physics data, extremely accurately and very quickly. So it's really easy to integrate the systems with them. And we didn't have it exactly working during all of our demonstrations. We're a group of mechanical engineers. We did the best we could with programming, and we still fooled a lot of professional pilots with flying a Cessna or flying any fighter jet as well. And they were talking about how realistic it is and how the motion was really helpful in that sense. Now we're really excited to get this professional software and use it because we know it's going to work even more efficiently for more people.
Yes, so just an endorsement to I was part of the Navy, sat through hundreds of hours of simulators. So I do agree with the fact that, you know, when you go from one type to another type of aircraft, you need instrumentation. It changes, and this software can drive the instrumentation changes, right?
Right.
So, so that was part of it. I mean, there is value, but again, going back to the question, the secret sauce is in the consulting part of the whole simulation industry, or is it in the hardware and software integration?
Well, our secret sauce won't be the hardware since we're buying all of it.
Exactly.
We're gonna have exclusive rights to the United States. So to sell these things, we'll be the only ones selling these actual platforms, which it will be a huge advantage. But the service, that's going to be another big thing. We're going to offer. We already have a partner with another simulator company in Orlando. They make motion platforms. We're going to also work on distributing those, putting together full motion simulators. So we'll have a variety of different services that we offer, but that will be more the secret sauce than the product.
But what you're the motion base you're limiting also to probably limits not for the full range of maybe 30 degree pitch and yaw and not the whole range of motion you should expect upstairs.
Yeah, so you won't get up to 30 degrees, not on ours, but on our other partner that does motion platforms. They can design to do anything. But the thing is, we've done extensive research on motion platforms, and the human body can only feel the initial onset acceleration, and then you'll slowly wash out to the center, and you'll still be fooled that you're pitched or rolled at a certain angle. So the angle isn't as much of a requirement as.
But the G-force is what something you can do.
Yeah, the G-force, that's what's really hard to integrate. The company in the UK, they're working on adding yaw, which will help add this reduce
Another way of humidity, the G-force is actually getting air pressure in your sheet suit.
Right, yeah, so there's several options, yeah, for the airplanes. Yes, back here.
I have a general question, and I'm kind of following up on an earlier comment. I'm confused if you're targeting a B2B sale with the market, or if you're looking for consumer sales. While you're talking about consumer side of gaming, I'm sitting here wondering how is this better or different than an Xbox or a Wii, and I'm not a gamer, so I don't even know that beginning answer, but as a business person, that's my, you want to go that direction. But then on the other hand, you're talking about construction companies and professional flight aviation training, which is a totally different marketing and a totally different platform.
Yep.
Yeah. Just feedback, you sound like you're all over the place.
Well, it's true, but we have to be all over the place to keep up with competition. So a lot of these simulator companies do focus on all these different customer segments. And although we know we want to be able to satisfy all of them, we do have a plan to work our way while we grow. So it will begin with consumers and gamers, and then arcades and entertainment centers. So we'll work with just entertainment, understand the product a little more, how we can, what's going to fail the most, how to replace them, what service will require, and before we grow into training, because we know that's going to be a lot harder to tackle, a lot harder to satisfy the customers. So we'll work our way there, but in order to stay prominent.
But then to follow up on that, strategically thinking, you've got a huge barriers with competing with Xbox and the likes in the gaming community. And you're talking about I don't know, a $500 price point on some really cool chair. And again, I apologize on my lack of knowledge of this, but that's what it sounds like. Compared to a market with a construction industry guy that needs to get his crane operators trained, which would be a multi-billion-dollar industry, it seems like, and a bigger ticket, fewer numbers of sales. Strategically thinking, just kind of putting that one out there.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that, thank you.
Can I comment on that? You haven't seen the Oculus Rift, and it's mind-blowing how different it is than Xbox. It's something like you've never seen before, and the first time you put it on, the first time anybody puts it on, the first thing they say is, whoa, it's mind-blowing. So that's number one. Number two, he's not going to be all over the place. He's going to have dedicated divisions. He's going to have a construction division that focuses on construction. He's going to have one on gaming, and he's going to have one on simulation, right? So you got to compete in those three areas, and you got to have offerings in those three areas to be able to succeed.
Well, yeah, thanks.
I'm an Air Force pilot, and I had a lot of training in the military on air simulators. And I was just wondering, do you have a nighttime simulation or instrument landing system? What kind of things can you do with this? Is there all the nav aids, if you fly point to point, or is it all daytime? Or is that the instrumentation inside that goggle? I'm not sure what I...
Well, for flight simulation, we use Prepared 3D, which is Lockheed Martin Level D certified flight training software. And you can do any custom scenarios you can think of, any custom aircraft, anything that, hundreds of aircraft, helicopters. So you can do those kind of things in those different scenarios. The big thing is instrumentation. So right now, when you put these on, we have a yoke in front of you, we have a throttle and your rudder pedals, but you don't see any limbs. So you can feel them, but you don't see them, and that's the biggest limiting factor. And although it does give you a good sensation of flying around and you feel like you're in an airplane, you're a limbless person in the airplane. But there's technology. Yeah, there's technology now that's allowing us to bring your hands in there slowly. It's just not quite there yet.
I love your logo. You haven't trademarked yet? It's beautiful.
Not yet.
Did you design it?
I was one of the guys on my team.
Oh, it's really good.
Not yet.
Real quick question. Are you looking for capital, or do you have a board of advisors at this point in time? Or?
Yeah, we do have a board of advisors and a lot of help from UCF. I'm a grad student now, I'm working through them, and they've been extremely supportive. But our main advisors include our Army General, who's retired. He's the Program Executive Officer for PO Stride, and he's got a huge network in simulation training. And then our strategic advisors work with all the companies in the area, helping them with strategy, business management, NASA, Disney, Universal, things like that. So,
are you looking for
and we're not currently looking for capital. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's right. Just some feedback kind of on the heels of similar comments. I think you're working on the right stuff, and you're obviously winning business plan competitions. You know the technology very well, but I think just maybe like a different presentation in terms of this is a huge, brand new market that's emerging. Facebook bought Facebook bought Oculus for $2 billion, right? So it's okay to like paint the story of there's this huge new thing, this huge new market coming out there. There's so many different things that might come out of it, and our business is we want to be the first ones there to take advantage of these opportunities. Here's some of the different ones that are out there. Here's how we're going to target them. And isn't it great that in Kansas City or Orlando, Florida, we've got companies that are focused on capturing this new stuff, just like the Maker movement or Bitcoin or whatever that is. So I just think like painting that story in a presentation better of here's all the things that might come out of it. The bottom line is it could be these 10 things, we're going to explore these things this year, then we're going to look at that. Is there anybody in the room that works in training or flight simulation or works for the, I just think the story painted a little differently.
Yeah.
And for your presentation, maybe you that is awesome, to put on some slides, to kind of show us more what's the simulation part of it. It's kind of, it's very interesting, the visual part of it.
You said that you're ready to hit the market now, you're at that stage. How do you plan on doing that based on all these different segments?
Well, we're going to officially launch in October. That'll be at our first trade show, which will be Orlando IX, which is the digital entertainment one. So essentially, we're going to go out there. We'll have our 2 units that we're going to be providing for people to demo and start taking orders that we can. We're not going to have any stock at the time, so we'll essentially be pre-sales. But that's going to be the big target. And then a month later is the Attractions Expo, and the month after that is the Simulation and Training Expo. So those are the big focus, and then satisfying all the customers that will come out of that. And then taking it from there, filling those orders, and then hitting all the other potential customers that we're talking about.
Are you funding yourself right now?
Yeah, from the competition, so that's basically what we're walking off of, and our own capital that we're putting in. Yes.
I'm a French student who would probably not get everything, but I think it's a great project because you just have simulation with great company for construction and others. But I'm afraid for the students and the gamers because you're not afraid of having bad feedback from students' family and gamers' family with all this new technology on this market. The gamers and the students just stay at the house and just playing games, and with this new project, the all students will just stay at the house and then
That's a valid concern. The thing that we want to combat is high-end gamers will be the ones that are buying this. I don't think there's going to be a mom in here that will spend $10,000 for this platform for their child. So it's going to be the grown-ups that play with these toys to begin with. But we did see another strong value of this is the inspiration towards STEM education. So both of the trade shows we've been at, we've had high schoolers, middle schoolers, elementary school kids come and ride these things, and it's been incredibly rewarding to see their reactions and hear our story, because this did come from a mechanical engineering project. This is what we studied in school, and this is what we're pursuing. And it sort of shows the successes that will come out of STEM education. So that's also something, maybe it's not going to be something they'll have at home, something they can have at school. And that's what we hope it to be, rather than locking students in their houses all day. I appreciate that. It's definitely a concern.
So what can we as a community do to help you move forward in your venture?
Well, the feedback was great. I definitely appreciate all the questions and comments. And now that we're getting ready to launch and start selling, we'd love to see you guys at these events that will be coming up. Follow us on social media. We'll keep you all updated where to find us, what other events we'll be at. If you're interested, let us know. If you want one for your house, if you know someone that could utilize it, that's the biggest thing I could ask for.
Thank you, Brandon and Alex, 2 awesome presentations today. Again, and for a nice full packed house again, this is awesome. If you are not getting our emails on the wrap up of this week and what's coming next week, the sign-up sheet is right there by the table. If you wrote your name in the past and you're not getting an email, we probably just couldn't read your handwriting, so write it nicely. We have a brand new, about a month old, 1 million cups website, a little easier to go on and apply to present. In order to have great presenters keep coming up here, we need that type of companies who are working on it. As we saw today, even if they're outside of the immediate St. Pete area, that's fine too, right? It doesn't matter what stage you're in. You could be in a very early, hey, this is a technology I'm thinking about doing something with, or hey, I've been working on this for 6 months and about to launch my product. As long as you're under 4 years old and $1 million in revenue, you qualify to come up here and present. So please tell your friends to go sign up or register yourself. So I think that's it for this week. Anything I forgot? Perfect. All right, awesome. Have a great week.